wasn't up on my screen. All right, there we go. Cool. Well, hey everybody, welcome to the very first kickoff call for our brand new session of the Amazing Selling Machine number 4. So we are super pumped. As you see, we've got, in the little below videos you can see, we've got myself, we've got Matt Clark here on the call. We also have our chief mentor, Rich Henderson, and another mentor, Shane Oglow, who are actually going to be on these calls every time we have one over the next couple of weeks, 8 weeks actually. So the purpose of this kickoff call is really just to kind of tell you what's coming, get you motivated, get you really going headstrong first, like head first right into the training to make sure that you really are prepared for what's ahead of you, because we've got 8 exciting weeks. We're going to be working hard with you. We have so many fun things planned for you guys. Really focused on helping you develop an incredible business for yourself focused around physical products. So before I continue anymore, Matt, maybe you can chime in, just say hello to everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey everybody, Matt Clark here. So welcome to Amazing Selling Machine. You made it in. This is sort of an interesting schedule for us this time because we actually have never done releasing Module 1 that soon after the doors closed. We literally had people that were begging it again after midnight on Friday, and they were not let in. So congratulations on you for making it inside Amazing Selling Machine as a new student. You are going to love this experience. We've done this before. We know what it takes to get you results. It doesn't matter if you're from the US, doesn't matter if you're from Canada, Australia, New Zealand, Germany, France, Nigeria, anywhere in the world. We're going to help you build this business. Doesn't matter if you're young or if you've retired already and you're looking to build a new business or find some other source of income. Trust me, we can help you build this business. We have a full team that goes way beyond Jason and myself. You'll actually hear from 2 of them here on this call with us, but we have a full team that goes way beyond Jason and myself because we knew that's what it takes to get you results. We know that you need personalized support every once in a while. You need to ask a question and you need your response answered. And so that's why we've built such a big team to help you get results in the forum, in the video comments, and in different aspects of the community. And here, honestly, on these live calls. So congratulations making it inside. And just want to touch on a couple, you want to say something, Jason?
No, I was going to actually just carry on a couple things, but you go ahead because I got lots to cover.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, I just want to reiterate something that you all know by now, but still it's important to remember. Amazon is growing like crazy. Amazon did $74.5 billion last year, and either this year or next, they're going to do $100 billion across all their country properties. So you are in a great place to build a business. But like you'll learn throughout this entire program, throughout Amazing Selling Machine and beyond the 8-week web class, when we're still here, we see you at the live event and everywhere else, that this is more than just about selling on Amazon. It's about building a real physical product business that you can grow on Amazon, outside of Amazon. You can use it to produce nice income for yourself, or you could potentially even sell the business down the road if you want. But that's what this is about. It's about building a long-term real business, not just selling products on Amazon, though that's where you're going to start because it's a great place to make money, like you're going to learn very quickly. So, Jason, take it away.
Yeah, and actually a perfect segue into kind of where I was going, because not only is this a real business, this isn't some flash in the pan thing. We really want to get that across. You're building yourself a legitimate long-term asset business that, you're leveraging Amazon to get started with. But where you go from there, it's countless number of areas you could go. But what we want to do right now is focus back on just these next 8 weeks, because these next 8 weeks are really critical for the majority of you because you want to get that momentum. One of the things that we found, we're constantly analyzing data of the students, the results of the students, where they've gotten their progressions, the trends that the successful students have going through the training versus the ones that just can't seem to get out of the gate right away. And one thing that we found across the board is, number one, it's the students that are very forward thinking and positive, that they know this is something that's going to work for them. And I know that's sometimes hard because you haven't done it yet. There might be some skepticism in your mind, but really it's, if you really believe that this can work, or you really want this to work, you have to believe in it, because you have to be doing things that will push you forward. You have to be doing something all the time. Don't make up excuses. Every day, do at least one thing that helps you move forward with this business. Spend time every day and make sure that time that you're spent, believe me, we've got experience with thousands and thousands of students, never mind we know what works for us, is for that time, block time out, really do it. What I recommend is every day when you're working, you write down the things that you worked on, you make sure that the things that you wanted to get done that day are listed, and make it only one or two things, but then write all the things you worked on and make sure you study that so you know you're not wasting time. If you notice that you spent 30 minutes just messing around on Facebook during that 2-hour period that you dedicated, that's not a good idea. Remember, these first 8 weeks, you're going to want to sacrifice a little bit. This is my personal opinion, but the opinion of what we look at as successful people. They make sure, like you're going to have to notify your family, say, I'm really going full throttle, because even for some of you, 2 hours a day, that's a huge thing because you've got your family, all that good stuff going. But if you focus every day, get the badges, get involved with the comments, really make sure you dig and understand the training, ask for help whenever you need help, and just push forward all the time. Remember, the people that really succeed out of the gate are the ones that aggressively go for it. They go for the high competing products. They go for the, and they follow the system. Every time we ask them, what's the secret? One thing, what's something that you would share with other students? Follow the system. Follow the system. And we don't repeat that because we just like hearing it. We follow it because we want you to get the absolute best results possible. So please follow every lesson, get every badge. If you're not sure about something, ask. Don't sit there and just say, oh, this is confusing. And the other thing is to look for other areas. A big thing that helps people is helping other people that are stuck on issues too. So if you figure something out and you see someone in the community that needs help, reach out to them. The whole idea of reciprocity with giving and taking, that's huge for our community. So I just wanted to give you some tips that really help you get going right out of the gate. I know we're going to talk to Rich and Shane, but I'm wondering if Matt maybe we want to just go over one more time, like how the modules, what they can expect, the calls to be, and when, and all those things.
Yeah, absolutely. So, this thing is really built for you to get results. We've updated the training a lot. In fact, we redid completely modules 5, 6, 7, and 8, the second half of the program, to account for a lot of the new promotional strategies that are working right now. We completely redid that at one point, not that long ago, actually. But the thing is the core foundation has not changed. The core foundation of the way the training is structured to get people results, that's what makes all the difference here. The structure is built so that by the end of this 8-week program, you have a successful business that's doing very well for yourself, and you know how to grow it beyond where you're at, wherever this 8 weeks takes you. But the thing is for you to get to that point, starting right now, you are already in Module 1. Starting right now, you have to take action. We can only go so far through this online medium. We can answer your questions. We can provide you the world's best training on this subject ever created. We can provide you a community of people that have been there and done that before. We can provide you mentors of people that have been there, done that before, and their only job is to help you. We can provide you software that helps you automate the business. But at some point, you have to take some actions. But fortunately, we make it super simple for you, very step by step. You follow the training. When the training says do this action before you go on to the next video, for you to build the business fastest, you need to do that action before you go on to the next video. Because then by the time you get in the next video, you can build on what you just did. But if you're going through and trying to watch one video next, oh, now I'm going to go and do the first action. The problem with that is you'll forget a lot of steps. You're going to miss certain things. And we've had people, honestly, if they would have just done that, they would have built the business a lot faster. And we had one, it's actually kind of a funny story. We had a guy who went through one of our programs. He's a friend of ours now. We met him because he's an amazing selling machine student, did extremely well, hundreds of thousands of dollars a month in sales. Here's what he did. He went through the first, I believe, 4 modules of Amazing Selling Machine, the first 4 modules, and then his business just started exploding. He had the right products. He had the products optimized. He was like, crap. He's like, I don't know how I'm going to ship all this stuff. He's like, this product sales is just exploding. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to go buy a warehouse. And oh, yeah, and now I need ways to drive these products around. So he went and bought a truck, a $30,000 truck, just so he could get the products from one place to another and be able to ship them out and all this sort of stuff and be able to take them to the post office and all sort of stuff. And he's like, crap. He's like, I realized about 6 months later that if I would have just watched the next module when Matt and Jason talked about using fulfillment by Amazon or FBA, I wouldn't have had to do any of that. There are things like that throughout the entire training. So do what it says, watch a video, take action. Watch a video, take action. There shouldn't be more than 1 or 2 videos in a row where you're not doing anything. So if you've watched more than a couple videos and you haven't done anything to grow your business, you might have missed something. So make sure you're following along closely, and that's how you're going to get the best results. In fact, we designed the training like that because we know it works. But we've proven it in retrospect, looking at the data of students that follow the training and students that earn the badges. We've proven that if you earn all the badges in the first 4 modules, on average, the students that have done that, they are doing extremely well from a financial perspective with this business. Just because they followed the training, didn't do anything monumental, they didn't have to earn any badges that are kind of dependent on us, such as, you'll learn about this later, but there's a few badges, community helper, etc. Those are kind of a little bit randomly, those are given for different reasons, but just the core badges in the first 4 modules, you do those are enough to get you a successful business off the ground. We've proven it. So trust us, when you're this early in the process, your motivation is high, you're excited about getting into business. The fastest way to take advantage of that motivation is to use it in the form of momentum, meaning that just take one action step. You may have some doubts in your mind, or you may be questioning something down the road, or you may have a question about this, or I don't know about this. That's fine, but just take the next action step. Do the next thing you can possibly do. You do that a few more times, all of a sudden you'll have this successful business. You just have to be willing to do the next step without knowing everything. You're not going to know everything from the beginning. That's how this training is structured. But the faster you do things that we talk about in the videos, the faster you'll have a successful business. You just have to do the steps. Every time you log in to the Amazing Academy campus, which is just members.amazingacademy.com, every time you log in there, you'll see the badge honor roll. That badge honor roll is proof that this training works. There's no question whether or not it does or it doesn't. It does. You just have to work the training. So make sure you're doing that every single day, focusing on taking the actions in the videos. Trust us, trust the other students that have gotten results, and who, like Jason said, all say just take action. Focus on doing those things, and you will build a successful business. But as far as...
Actually, I just wanted to piggyback on one thing you said that I think is so important, because we've actually had people do similar things, but just even go one step further with the training, and then they stop at another module, and then like 6 months later, because they haven't done the whole thing, all their sales were taken off, and then they start dive bombing again, and they realize, I haven't followed through. We had actually quite a successful, one of our original members, she did that. She admitted she stopped at module 5, and that's why, looking back, just to reemphasize what Matt said, is go through everything. Don't just stop and say, I got this now. You've paid to be here. Take advantage of it. Take advantage of all the knowledge, all the experience, all the sharing that goes on here. And we're not saying at the end of the 8 weeks that's the only business model, the only way you do it. All we're saying is once you've gone through it, once you've set that initial product up and gone through all the steps, now you have the freedom to be able to do it however you want. But take that foundation that we've proven through experience over and over again. None of it's theory. It's all proven over and over again. The 2 mentors that you see in this call as well, they're also full Amazon product owners, meaning they own their own physical product brand companies selling on Amazon as well. There's no one in this system that doesn't have experience running this as a business currently. It's not like someone's just hired to do this for you. These guys are truly experienced. Everyone in the forum runs this business. Go through the system, get as much help, get all that momentum going, but just don't skip anything right now. Get it all done, and I promise you in 8 weeks you'll look back. You'll be sitting there at times flustered, wishing a module could open more, or thinking it might, it's going to be different levels for everyone. At the end of it, it'll all make sense why we did it the way we did, and you'll be thankful. Did you have more to say there, Matt?
I just want to give them a high-level overview of the coming 8 weeks, and then I think you will intro not Jason, Rich, Rich and Shane. This is Jason.
Yes. Okay, that works.
So as far as the 8 weeks, here's what's coming. Right now, you're on Module 1. Module 1 is about getting set up to sell. You need to do the steps in this module before anything else even matters. So do these steps, get them out of the way, and you're on to building the business. The next, in Module 2, you'll be picking your product. trust me when you get to that, do it quickly. Do the thorough research, find a good selection of products, but move through that. Don't get stuck on that module thinking, I need to pick the perfect product. You need a good product. You don't need a perfect product opportunity. So you pick a product. Then you get into finding a supplier in Module 3. Then Module 4 is about setting up your Amazon product listing and getting your first inventory order with your supplier. And then Modules 4, 5, and, no, that's Module 4. So in Module 5, 6, and 7, that's when you start promoting your product and ramping up sales and looking at the sales data inside of your seller reports. So those modules are where you're really kicking up sales and learning how to generate more sales from the activity you're already doing. That's some of the most cutting-edge information in this entire program is in those modules 5, 6, and 7. And that's also when you start using a lot of the tools, the $250,000 worth of tools that you get included with Amazing Selling Machine. Most of them become very relevant when you get into modules 5, 6, and 7. Then module 8, we cover a lot on outsourcing this business because you shouldn't be doing everything yourself. As quickly as possible, you should be hiring other people, especially low-cost labor you can get overseas. That's a great job for them. You can pay them to do a lot of the things that you would normally have to do yourself, and we've done this before in our own businesses, our students have, and that's what you get into in Module 8, is really delegating a lot of the things that are not the core activities in the business for you to be doing so that you can focus on growing the business. And as this thing progresses, different areas of the forum will be unlocked. You'll get access to the Facebook group, and the modules will be rolling out, and the tools you'll be getting access to. So that's really what's coming up. Now, as far as these weekly calls, this one is, right now at 8 p.m. Eastern. I believe the other ones, Jason, the other ones, they're on Thursday at 4 p.m. Eastern, right?
Yes, the only one that's going to be different than that will be, I believe, on the 22nd of November. I think it's Thanksgiving.
Yep.
Call the day before, but other than that, yeah, 4 p.m. Eastern time.
Yep, so all the future ones should be on 4 p.m. Eastern. We'll always send out emails. We'll always post the little message you saw when you logged into members.amazingacademy.com. There'll be a little message there telling you what time the call is and giving you a link to go access the call. And we'll also be sending out emails. So don't need to worry if there's ever a time change, you will know. But right now they're scheduled for Thursdays at 4 p.m. Eastern. So this coming up Thursday, I believe it's October 30th, we're going to be having the Module 1 call. So this kickoff call is just to give you an idea of what's coming, let you know that you're in a great place, all that sort of good stuff, introduce you to Shane and Rich and myself and Jason if you didn't know us already. But then on Thursday, that one's going to be all about Module 1. Any questions you have about getting set up internationally, not internationally, any of that sort of stuff, that's what that call is all about. And these coaching calls, these weekly group coaching calls, these are placed in the module that they covered. So for example, this is kind of like the welcome kickoff call. So this will go in the welcome module. The Module 1 call will go in the bottom of Module 1. So on these calls, if you can't make it, they'll be posted in the module so you can access them anytime you want. This one, we don't have the questions enabled because it's more of a, it's not, but on the future calls, questions will be enabled. So you'll be able to answer questions, ask questions live, and we will answer them live. Format of the future calls is, and we'll bring on successful students. You get to hear from people. It's a really cool thing. But other than that, it's mainly Q&A. So if you have questions, you can come on, ask them, and we are here to answer them. So that'll all be starting with the Module 1 call this coming up Thursday. So I feel like I'm missing something, but I can come back to it. But Jason, maybe you want to go ahead and introduce Mr. Rich Henderson and Shane.
Yeah, just before I get into that, though, real quick, I'm just going to really cover some good etiquette, just from the purpose of being able to get you the best results possible. What we always recommend is, first of all, when dealing with support, our support, we have full-time support. In fact, we have 24/7 coverage during the first 8 weeks. That's 8 weeks. We make sure you guys have 24-hour support available. We want to get you results, as quickly as possible so you're not being held up. But here's some really important tips. Number one, if you submit a support ticket, you will receive, no matter how you do it, and I'll walk you through the two ways, whether you do it through email or go directly to the support site. Once you submit that ticket, you will get an automated response. So a big thing to note is whenever you submit a ticket, if you don't see an automated response sent to your email, then there's probably a problem with your internet service provider blocking our email. So you want to make sure you whitelist anyamazingacademy.com, and amazingsewingmachine.com. And I don't know, Matt, if there's any other domain extensions that they should focus on.
No, I believe if you just whitelist really amazingacademy.com and especially support at amazingacademy.com, those should be the primary emails you're receiving these kind of communication through.
Okay, cool. So if, within, let's say, 48 hours, because we try to get everything very, very quick, but in worst case scenario, 24, 48 hours, support, say you haven't heard anything back, because we need to know if you're not getting our emails, because then we'll reach out. And always remember, if you submit a support ticket and you don't think you're getting the responses, when you resubmit, include your phone number, because we'll pick up the phone and call you, because some of you, we don't have phone numbers in your accounts. And the only reason we want your phone numbers is to provide you phenomenal support. So if you want to even update your profile and put a phone number in there for us, that would help us out a lot. Support system, so if you go to support.amazingacademy.com, or if you just emailed support@amazingacademy.com, both ways will help you get a support ticket. And support that way is meant more for things like technical issues, not being able to access training, just issues where you're trying to find your way around, any billing issues or anything like that. It's not really specifically targeted at training. That's really why we have the questions underneath the area for commenting under the training videos, the commenting in the forum, and obviously these calls. Now, what we also recommend really is if you post a comment under the training and it doesn't get a response, first of all, we respond to everything, but if you're not getting the answer you need, try the forum. And if you're still not getting the answer you need, of course, reach out to support and they'll direct you in the right way. But the idea here is this is how it really helps make the community so much better. The purpose of those comments under the videos and the purpose of the community is to not only like networking and create, relationships with other people, but it's to help everyone share from their learnings. There's no silly questions. Any question that you have, somebody else most likely has, so ask it if you're not sure. But one thing Matt didn't mention, which I really want to stress, is every week when we do those weekly calls, it's always focused only on that specific module. So if you're on the Module 2 call, for example, and you're in there asking questions already covered in Module 1, we won't answer those on the call. But still submit those questions in the other channels, because we're going to make sure everything's covered for you. We don't want you feeling like we're missing anything whatsoever. So please, I'm actually when I introduce Rich here, I'm going to have him give you a couple other tips too, because I want him to explain about getting the most of the support system, but also how our mentoring program works, so that people clearly understand how the mentors work and what their purpose is there and all that stuff. So without me sharing any more information, I'll hand the mic over to Rich Henderson. And Rich, please introduce yourself and cover those items. Rich, the mute button is still on.
How sad am I?
Yes, there we go.
Let's start again. So my name is Rich Henderson. I'm the chief mentor for the Amazing Sewing Machine. Obviously, I'm not very technical. But in a sense, basically the mentors are there to provide everybody help. It's not a one-to-one thing. It's literally to help everyone we possibly can. So the way the mentors help is essentially you just need to post somewhere, whether it's under the videos or in the forum or later on when you get access in the Facebook group. And they'll be there to answer. They'll be there to answer you. Now, it doesn't mean that other members can't help you too. It just means that if we've made these people a mentor, it means they know what they're talking about and that you can trust what they're talking about. So pretty much if they give you an answer, you can trust it. And that was really the main reason we brought them in, because obviously when you've got thousands of members all jumping in, giving their opinions, it can get a bit messy. So if that kind of thing happens when you ask a question, then look for the mentor, because there will be a mentor's answer in there. And you're going to learn who they all are. We've got about, I think, there's 16 of them right at this minute. So there's plenty of them in there. A couple of things briefly to touch on. The forum. Please make sure you read the forum guidelines. The forum runs really, really smoothly when everyone pays attention to the guidelines and follows them. It makes it much easier for us to help you if you actually do a quick search. So if you've got a question to ask, go and have a quick search. It's all very easily laid out. You can find the modules are laid out one by one, and each module, each individual video has its own section. So you know exactly where to look. So please do have a look first to see if you can find an answer to your question. And if not, then just go ahead and post it, and we'll be in there to help you. If you're going to post questions under the videos, that's fine. That's what they're there for. And I know we are encouraging you to do that. All we'd say is that occasionally if you ask a question that's more of a complicated question that might require to and fro, so in other words, us reply, and then you come back to us and so on, what we might do is we might just post a link as a comment, as a reply to you, to show you where to go in the forum. And then when you ask that question in the forum, it's much easier for us to go backwards and forwards because it's harder to actually search the comments under the videos. Lastly, on the forum, something quite important, and it's about creating your own groups. Now, we're big fans of networking, finding your mastermind groups. But here's something we've discovered over the last 3 intakes of Amazing Selling Machine, and that is the really successful groups are the ones that actually keep themselves quite small, so 5 or 6 people, and even more importantly, that wait till module 3 or 4 or even 5 to actually make those connections and form those groups. Because the best way to create your group is to find people with different skills to yours. Because say, for instance, you're all really good at graphic design or SEO or something like that, and you create a group with all the same people, you're not going to get as much from it. Now, we've seen a lot of you posting in there, oh, let's form a group. No, it is fine, don't get me wrong. But what we'd suggest to get the most out of creating that group for you is just to wait a little bit longer in the course so you can identify people that you're going to get on with first, but also that might have different skill sets to the ones you've already got. If you do it that way, you'll definitely get much more success from creating a group. That's pretty much all I wanted to say about those 2 things.
So cool. And yeah, I just really want people to understand too, like Rich, and first of all, the mentors group by themselves is phenomenal, but what we have, like how the mentors are all based are that we didn't hire them, we didn't interview for them. They actually were identified because they were people in our community when we first started the Amazing Selling Machine that kind of rose to the top. They were the superstars. They were the ones that were taking action right away, were getting momentum in their businesses right at the start. But more important is they were actually constantly giving back. So they were always there helping people, motivating people. And it's, because of that, we approached them and asked if they'd be, willing to want to be a mentor, because we want to make sure that when you're getting advice, sometimes you want to just double check that your advice is valid, because sometimes people can just shout out advice in a community and you never know. That's the purpose of the mentors, to not only verify that the accuracy of other things, but for you to know that there's like people in there that you can trust and go directly to. The mentors are a huge asset. Make sure to use them. But the big thing is go through the training, find the answers yourself. When you're stuck on things, reach out to the mentors. They're going to be there looking for you as well. They're going to be wanting to watch for people that are struggling, looking for help. And that's why we really encourage you to be posting in the community. And a big thing about posting in the community that I really want to stress here, first of all, the purpose of the community is for you guys. That's it. The idea is to give you an area where you can communicate with other people, where you can ask questions, and where you can really dig into like the areas of this business. It's not meant to be anything more than just an area for you to be able to get help. It's not an area for you to promote your own services. It's not an area to promote anything. Affiliate links are completely not allowed. And like people get kicked out if they try to do stuff like that. I want to keep it on a positive tone, but I just want to let you know there's absolutely no slamming. I don't care if you're talking about a competitor. I don't care if you're talking about somebody that did anything. We're not into like having anyone like pick on or gang up on anyone. Nowhere. I don't care if you're angry with anybody. We keep the forum very positive. If you have a concern, ask about it. We'll give you help, but it's not a place to just go there, vent, and slam anybody. We have zero tolerance for that across the board. It needs to be a safe place where everyone feels comfortable going to ask questions that they really need help with. And what else? I can't think of anything else. The only last thing that I want to talk about is the live event. I know there's a couple other things we do need to cover still, but for me, is the up-and-coming live event. So obviously the live event, February 5th to the 7th, with Robert Kiyosaki of Rich Dad Poor Dad, and of course Sir Richard Branson of the Virgin Group. We are so excited. And I really want to make sure, too, we're not giving too much credit to them. Not that they are not amazing people to have there, but the entire event is phenomenal. So we're going to be starting the pre-registration, because how it works is we need to actually get everyone to pre-register that's going to go, so we know exactly how many people out of everyone that signed up goes. So during Module 2, when Module 2 releases, that's the plan right now, that as soon as Module 2 releases, Module 3, not Module 2, Module 3. So next week, we should have pre-registration started. And all that's going to be is that's going to be you pre-registering to let us know, yes, you're going, and then we're going to be providing you extra information at that time, such as the hotel discount. And for that, you don't need to know anything else to release that, because at that point we'll have all the hotel information so you can get your coupon codes, so you'll get better room rates and all of those kind of things. And really, other than just like staying focused, going through the training, making sure you're like doing it every day, again, big tip, make sure every day, if you can only do one thing, that it's one thing that moves you ahead in your business. Just stay focused on that every day. That's all I got. So I don't know if Matt, actually, let's hand it over to Shane. Shane Oglow, if you can, just introduce yourself and let them know what your role kind of is here. And one thing maybe you could share as well, you know, you've been through this, you've been watching people go through this, you know, if you have any tips to really help them get through this training as effectively as possible that maybe we haven't shared anything with. And, you know, don't be shy here, because you're one of the smartest guys I know when it comes to this stuff, but you can be a little humble sometimes.
All right, thanks. Can you guys hear me okay? All right. So I'm Shane Oglow. Yeah, I'm not even an original ASM guy, and I'm ASM 2. So I joined a year ago exactly, and I didn't know anything about internet marketing. I was totally brand new. So if I can do it, you can do it. I guarantee it. I just want to, I mean, Matt and Jason already talked about, you know, following the system. I mean, it's logical. It's sequential. They've got the badge program. I mean, that kind of sounds kind of weird at first, but it's actually a lot of fun, and people get crazy about collecting these badges, and it's fun. And what you start doing is you just sort of break that cycle. I know a lot of people are nervous. I've already got some PMs about, oh, I don't know what I should do, and break that cycle. Take that action, these short-term goals, badges, because when you're outside the comfort zone, that's where the magic happens, and that's where things start to take off. And, you know, the guys have talked about the scalability and all those great things down the road. It's all there. It all starts from here, and just keep pushing forward. And as a group, I think Rich summed it up well too. You know, there's no such thing as a dumb question. You know, I've received some PMs, and I've, you know, politely pushed everybody back into the forum, because if you're asking that question, I can pretty much guarantee that somebody else wants to know the exact same question or same answer. So please post those out there. You're going to find this is an incredible community for sharing knowledge and information and tips, and you get to learn from, I mean, Jason and Matt put this thing together. They put a couple of years to create the program, and everything is always evolved. Everything online evolves, you know, Google algorithms, all those things are always changing. So we're always adapting and changing. So you're able to learn from all our sort of hard-fought battles and mistakes. And I just look forward to working with all of you. It's great to be here, and thanks to everyone for inviting me to be part of it. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely, thank you. So yeah, just so everyone knows, both of these guys, Rich and Shane, have done this business. They have been successful with this business. They know how to do it. They're not just here to sort of help with support and whatnot. They have done this business. They've been successful with it. They've helped a lot of other people, if not more important, that they've helped people get over different hurdles that come along. So they know how to do this business. They've done very, very well. So that's very important for you to realize whenever they're answering questions, because take whatever they say very seriously. They know this stuff just as well as we do. So one thing that I want to talk about, which I think we're about wrapping everything up here, Let me double check our little list. Yep, about wrapping things up. So one of the things that I wanted to cover before we go is the Facebook group. So the Facebook group, as you noticed, you don't have access yet. So when you join, you get access to the welcome module, then you start getting the modules unlocked as you go along. You get immediate access to the forum. So that's one aspect of the community that's very valuable. So you can start interacting with other people in the forum. But then you get access to the Facebook group, which is another very critical aspect of the community. You get access to the Facebook group starting in Module 5. The reason we don't give you access as soon as you join is because you likely don't know this business yet. It's likely the first time you've done it, just like we've all been there the first time we've done it. And the Facebook group is really for advanced strategies and tactics. People are sharing strategies, people are sharing different things that are working, and we don't want a bunch of people in there asking questions that are in the training, because then it's just going to kind of frustrate the other people that have been doing this business for a couple years and are getting crazy results, that these more basic questions are being asked, when the group is really for people that have sort of been there, got their products live, getting some sales, like you'll see as soon as you get access. So as soon as Module 5 releases, we'll start sending information about how we're going to move you into that Facebook group, how you'll get access, how you'll be able to see all the cool things going on. But I did want to show you something real quick. So I'm going to share my screen. It'll take about 4 or 5 seconds for you to be able to see it, but I want to show you something from that Facebook group that I literally just saw. So here we go. So maybe Jason, let me know when you can see my screen. You may still be muted if you just try to say.
I'm muted, and yes, I can see your screen.
Okay, perfect. So I just saw this. As you can see, this little timer thing, it says just 2 hours ago. This is from Jonathan Barraclough. I think that may be how you pronounce it. But anyways, he says, wow, well, it took all a year to get almost this day since I joined ASM, but finally made my goal. So he's been getting sales, getting results for quite a while now, it seems like. But to get to his goal, it took him a little longer. So he says, to be honest, I had my doubts I'd get here. When I was at the 10K level, it seemed so far away. But now here I am. If I can do this, why not $50,000? All I have to say is, if I can do it, anyone can do it. So as you can see, he's got a screenshot here. 30 days, $25,000, $25,296.25. Over 1,100 orders. And just the past 7 days, $5,000. So sales are definitely picking up very quickly. This is just one person out of all the people you'll be seeing inside of the community. That's the Facebook group, getting results. This stuff works. You'll see people posting in there. They're at the $250,000 level. You'll see 100,000, 50,000, and you'll see even more. There are people getting results with this business every single day. But like we said at the beginning, the thing that makes it take longer for people is when you deviate from the training. If you follow the training to a T and as quickly as possible, and then especially when you get to the promotion modules, modules 5, 6, and sort of 7, when you get to those modules, it's really about how much you apply the stuff. Because you can do, for example, when we talk about press releases, you can do 1 press release and you're going to get this much results. You can do 10 press releases and you'll get this much results. And same thing with everything else. It kind of goes from there. You can run promotion on deal sites. You can set up your Amazon sponsored ads. You can do videos. You can do all kinds of other promotional methods that we teach you in those modules. But when you get to those, it's about how aggressively you apply those. Getting up to there, it's really about following one step after another. You set up your Amazon account. You find a product. You choose a product, you find a supplier, you work with a supplier, you get a sample, you get your branding, get your packaging, get your product live on Amazon. Those are kind of all very sequential steps. But then once your product's live on Amazon, that's where the rubber really meets the road. And that's where you can go from 0 revenue to $100,000 in revenue in a single month if you work hard, because of what's available in that module and how aggressively you apply it. But if you kind of take your own time, then sure, you can get there. Like this person, he's done well. He's at $25,000 a single month. Probably built this while working a job. May have a 50% profit margin, which we see. So it's $12,000 a month built while he was, doing whatever else. But you can get there much faster. We've had people that have ramped up in a matter of months to hundreds of thousands of dollars per month. And it's not like they were some great genius or they had some super trick nobody else had. They just worked their butts off. This opportunity is here and it's sitting for you, and we know it works. And we want to see you achieve these results for yourself, because you got in here for a reason. You got in here because you want financial freedom. You got in here because you want to create freedom for your family member. You want to be able to travel. You want to be able to live wherever you want. Or heck, maybe you just want to never have to worry about paying bills or eating at a fancy restaurant again, because you're doing well enough that those things don't matter. Sure, you're not going out there and buying Ferrari and Lamborghini and whatever else, but you're living a great life that makes sense to you. That's what this business can provide, and I know you can do it. We've had people that are truck drivers, police officers, grandmas, grandkids. We've had all kinds of different people that have done this business and been successful. So when I tell you you can do this, believe it, because no matter where you're from, old, young, man, woman, truck driver, rocket scientist, doesn't matter. We've helped people do this business. So that's really all that I wanted to cover, I believe. So is there anything you wanted to cover, Jason, before we jump off of here?
The only other thing I wanted to add, which I meant to add about the forum, was that each module, when we release, for example, right now you go into the forum, I think you guys would have about 6 threads, maybe most that you have access to. But on Friday morning when Module 2 opens, for example, 8 o'clock, there'll also be related threads that open to that. So the forum grows each week until by Module 8 it's completely unlocked. So by the idea here is by the time you're actually done, not only do you have all the modules unlocked for the forums, but also the Facebook group, which is, you know, combined with everything else, yeah, like there's definitely no chance of you ever being left behind. I mean, you'll get answers for everything. But other than that, I don't have anything. Just, you know, I just ask you to please follow the system. A big thing here is don't let distractions such as questions, family members, or anything really get in your way for the next 8 weeks. It's going to be hard because, you know, one of the things that you find a lot of new people starting is because the entrepreneur mindset, creating your own business, isn't something that everyone is blessed with. I'm not saying, you know, people that don't have it, that doesn't mean a bad thing. It's just they can't relate to you. So when you're trying to tell them what you're doing, you're going to hear either jealousy, pessimism, maybe a bad experience. And a lot of times it's just better to avoid the conversation. And that's why I recommend, you know, sticking to it for the next 8 weeks, really focusing in. Don't be sharing it with other people. Don't, like, just focus on yourself, because by the end of the 8 weeks, then you'll start having bragging rights, and you'll find that you'll just be that much farther ahead than you ever dreamed. So that's all I have. Thank you so much for being here. I'm going to let Matt close it off, but appreciate you guys all being here. Look forward to getting knowing each one of you much better and seeing you hopefully all at the live event. So it's up to you now, Matt.
Thank you very much, Jason. Yeah, thanks, Rich and Shane, for joining us. You all are going to be hearing a lot from them. And like I said, they know what they're doing, and it's going to be a pleasure having them with us on this journey, as well as with you over the next 8 weeks and beyond. At the live event, beyond the live event, we are here to help you grow this business. You know, obviously, like when we are releasing videos and we're trying to tell you about Amazing Selling Machine, why it's so great, all that sort of stuff, it's not just to get you in the door. It's to get you over the mental hurdle with all the doubts we all have in our minds. But now that you're in here, it's the same story. There's nothing to hide. There's no, oh, you know, you're in here, now we're just sort of going to leave it alone. Everything's exactly the same. The business works. The opportunity's here. We know you can do this, and we are here to deliver for you over the next 8 weeks. You just have to dig in, get results, start earning your badges. Make sure you've earned all the ones in the welcome module and module 1, which is live right now. And then on Thursday, we're going to be covering the Module 1 coaching call, where we're going to go over everything related to Module 1. Now, you know, Jason and I, like, we don't like to talk about this kind of stuff very much because we don't like to, you know, brag or anything like that. But, you know, we've obviously become, you know, multimillionaires running businesses just like the one that you're building right now. And we've done it fairly quickly. But the reason we've been successful and some other people have not is because we sort of get out of our own way and just apply the training. When Jason was learning this physical product stuff, he had never done it before. He had built digital stuff I had no idea how to do. It was just blown away. I remember he had tried to outline this one marketing strategy for me online. I was like, never mind, I can't do that. But either way, he built his business very quickly because he didn't have the same doubts in his head a lot of other people do. And it's what allowed him to be so successful. He wasn't like, oh, I don't think about that, or oh, that doesn't make sense, or oh, I don't like that, or what about this, or what about that. He just did it. I was like, here's how you do it. Here's what you do. He was like, okay, cool. And so he did it. And then 4 months later, he was doing $100,000 a month with a brand new business. Had never sold physical products before. The thing is once you learn the right temperament and right thinking patterns of a successful entrepreneur, you can build any business. And part of what we do with these videos in Amazing Selling Machine is help you rewire how you think. Like Shane said, breaking the cycle. You'll learn more about this in the training, but in a nutshell, what we're referring to is, I remember being at our first, where was it? No, it was probably doing some coaching calls and whatnot way back in the day for the first course we ever released, selling stuff, teaching people how to sell stuff on Amazon. And I remember talking with people, and they were saying they had bought course after course after course after course for a year. And they were like, okay, now I'm ready to get some results. Now I'm ready to take some action. And I was just blown away. I was like, that's crazy. I was like, you should be trying to get results and taking action. The first sentence somebody who's been there, done that utters. The first thing that they say, you should be trying to copy them, figuring out how they did it, how to get that same experience as they did, so that you can build the business for yourself. You should do the same thing. Break the cycle. Quit trying to get information like it's going to suck all in and magically money is going to pop out of the other side. It's not going to happen. You have to apply the training and take action, and that's how you get a big result. And that's how we have people that have done all kinds of other courses. They didn't get results with those ones, not necessarily because the business models weren't as good, but possibly could it be, but that's typically not the reason. It's because they didn't apply the training, or the training wasn't structured in a way that it could be applied. This is very different. So that's really it for me. You're going to be hearing a lot more from us, but feel free to ask any questions you have. There's the video comments, there's the forum. Support is here and ready to help you. So follow the training, get results, and we will see you on the Thursday Module 1 coaching call. That's it for me, and thank you for joining, and we'll see you soon.